And we begin this hour with that Fox News alert. Former President Donald Trump says he is safe after he was targeted in a second assassination attempt while playing golf at his course down in Florida.
Now, the suspect is in custody after fleeing the scene where he left an AK-47, a GoPro, and 2 bags. You're seeing it. The local sheriff's office saying the suspect was between 300 and 500 yards from the former president. And we're learning more about his prior run-ins with the police and his political statements.
We have live team coverage this morning. House Speaker Mike Johnson is going to join us with his reaction to the second assassination attempt. He spoke to the former president right after it happened. And Brooke Singman has the suspect's wild past and run-ins with the cops. But first, let's turn to Danamarie McNicholl, who joins us from outside Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach to walk us through what happened yesterday. Danamarie?
Good morning, guys. This is still a very active investigation on the ground. I'm outside the entrance of Trump International Golf Course. You can see the red tape behind me. Multiple streets are closed to the public. Now, we are about a 12 to 15-minute drive from Mar-a-Lago, where that former president lives. Golf on Sundays is something he loves to do. We know that. He also spoke out on social media, praising the Secret Service and local law enforcement here who are still working to figure out what happened, thanking him for keeping him safe. Now, we do want to get to a map so you can see exactly how close the golf holes are to the public street here. Palm Beach County Sheriff said Ryan Ruth was only about 400 yards away from the former president, hidden in the shrubbery with a gun while he played.
The bubble moves through the golf course, so our agents will get there first, clear it. He noticed that the rifle was pointed out. Our agents engaged. We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the subject.
Now, FBI and local law enforcement are posted up outside hole 5 and 6 right now, processing evidence, including that rifle found on the scene.
In the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now.
Now, a witness has been a huge help to police in this investigation who saw 58-year-old Ryan Ruth run from the golf course bushes and jump into a black Nissan. The witness gave the plate numbers to police, who pulled over Ryan on I-95 in Martin County. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris said in a statement yesterday that she is deeply disturbed and will condemn political violence, adding that we must all do our part to ensure this incident does not lead to more violence. We're also hearing from President Joe Biden, who commended the Secret Service and their law enforcement partners to keep former President Trump safe. Now, of course, we're waiting to hear more details on when Ryan Ruth will be, or if he will be, in court this week. Of course, we're going to be on the ground gathering as many new details as we possibly can. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Danamarie, we thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, Brooke Singman joins us now with more details about the suspect's past, including a lengthy list of run-ins with the cops. Brooke.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So former President Trump is safe following the second assassination attempt at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach yesterday. Fox News obtaining this photo showing Ryan Wesley Ruth, the suspected gunman, just moments after his arrest. A Florida sheriff who was on the scene spoke about the suspect's demeanor when he was taken into custody. Listen.
I was at the scene, and he had a very, very kind of detached, flat facial affect. Like, it wasn't bothering him. Blue lights everywhere, helicopter overhead. He never said, hey, what's that about? Why did I get stopped?
The FBI is now taking the lead on the investigation into the scene and the suspect, who we are learning more about. So he is originally from North Carolina, and he moved to Hawaii in 2017. He has prior arrests for drug possession, driving without a license, expired inspection, and operating a vehicle without insurance. And guys, back in 2002, he barricaded himself into his roofing company's office during a 3-hour standoff with police following a traffic stop. Ruth's son telling the Daily Mail, quote, he's not a violent person. He's a hard worker, a great dad. He's a great dude, a nice guy. So meanwhile, we are learning the suspect was interviewed by the New York Times back in 2023 when he volunteered to help Ukraine in the war with Russia. That article says, quote, Ryan Ruth, a former construction worker from Greensboro, North Carolina, is seeking recruits from among Afghan soldiers who fled the Taliban. As of this morning, the suspect remains in custody as we learn new details. Guys.
All right, Brooke, thank you very much. One of the details about him when he went over to Ukraine, which he said he was willing to fight and die for. There was a GoFundMe page set up by somebody else that I was reading about this morning, and what it said was the person who put up the GoFundMe thing said that this guy, Mr. Ruth, had sent 120 drones to the front lines. But the more we learn about him, apparently he was frustrated because Ukraine didn't want to do what he wanted to do, which was bring in a bunch of Afghan fighters. And so ultimately he wound up writing about his it's been depicted as a failed mission in Ukraine. And that book, 291 pages, is now available on Amazon for $3 if you're interested. Don't know the title.
Yeah,
$3.
We found out, got the call yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon that this had happened before it broke on the news. And everyone in the house is just in panic mode because we learned there's another assassination attempt on President Trump. And so Sean was on the phone with one of the guys who was playing golf with him, and he said that Secret Service did a phenomenal job. They were on the 5th green. Trump was playing really well. And after he found out everyone was safe, he was kind of bummed that he wasn't going to be able to finish this round of golf because he was playing so well. And he said Secret Service rushed over, jumped on top of Donald Trump. They heard pop, 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 pop. After the first pop, jumped on Donald Trump and then whisked him away quickly in this special golf cart that they have. And then the friend was standing there on the green, standing up, saw it all, saw them run over to the guy taking off, leaving his gun behind in the bushes. And he said it was just so impressed with how Secret Service handled it so quickly and spotted that AR through the bushes, through the fence.
Right. Okay. We don't know a lot. We don't know if he even tried to shoot at Trump. We don't know if he tried to shoot at the Secret Service. We know he got shot back from the Secret Service, which took a lot of guts.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.